I wasn't zeicha to be born a Yid like you. I went on a very long journey till I made it to Yiddishkeit. I'm a Ger Tzedek. In Eretz Yisrael, not everyone knows who I am. So my son, I'm missing the ability to make a Kiddush Hashem. When I come to America, then I'm mastering that, so I can speak more openly. First of all, I want to be makdim. It's not in my school. It says Lulish Hakadosh Baruch Hu Weider and Yochaloi. The person can't come to anything without Siyata D'Shmayim, without there were common parshiyos drochim, various crossroads, and I could have done it a different way. And Hashem always led me in the right way. People ask me sometimes, how is it that your family is zeicha that their son should become a Yid? So we can't really know, but my grandfather in World War II was a soldier in the American Army. And apparently a lot of times the Goyish soldiers would start up with the Yiddish soldiers fighting them. And my grandfather would always stand up for them. Everybody knew when he was around, you can't start up with the Yiddish. My ancestors came to America on the Mayflower, and people know the American history, and pilgrims. There's some kind of Goyish Chogib, some of you don't know about it, it's called Thanksgiving. So it comes from the pilgrims, the first winter in America. From my mother's side, we descend from President Zachary Taylor. I was hoping to find Yiddish Shoyrish, but as far as I know, President Taylor was not a Yid. So. But both my parents were doctors, and my grandfather was a representative in the legislature in Michigan State. Now, I myself was born near Detroit, so you might ask, how on earth did I come to Yiddishkeit? When I was 4, we moved to Whidbey Island, Washington. It's an island about 2 hours north of Seattle. The town of about 1,000 people. As a child, I was probably a bit of an interesting child. At a certain point, I stopped watching television and I stopped eating meat. My father, every day when we'd come home from the hospital, he'd sit on the couch and read the paper, and he would ask me, what is the meaning of life? So I don't think he really was pursuing an answer. I think it's just an interesting topic of conversation. But it made me think. Every day he would ask me again and again. At my Shabbat brachos, my father said over that one day when I was 7, he found me crying, and he said, well, what's the problem? So he said that I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. I don't know what our purpose is here. As a child, I felt the society I was living in was very superficial, very empty. And also the religious goyim that I knew, they were no better than the other goyim, if anything worse. Baruch Hashem, in Yiddishkeit, every ma'aseh we do as a chashivas. We live for a purpose. But there's another nikudah, that a person who has an oil, he's a happy person, he knows what he's supposed to do with himself. A person who has no oil, then he feels lost. How am I supposed to lead my life? What am I supposed to do? Baruch Hashem in Yiddishkeit, we always know what we're supposed to do. We know which shoe we're supposed to put on first. You know what time we have to wake up in the morning. Everything's clear. And chutz from them also the kroinus, the principles are clear. What's called the emes is clear. The emes doesn't change every 5 minutes. Tomorrow we're going to decide that you can pull the plug on people. In Yiddishkeit, our values remain the same. But that gives a person stability. So, some people say, it's hard to be a Yid. Moshe Feinstein said one shouldn't say that. But I say, were you ever a goy? You know how it is to be a goy? It's much harder to be a goy. And even if there are nisyonis amal, slept 2 hours at night and he has to wake up in the morning, but for carrot, to live with the oil, to live with the tzuras hachaim, for carrot, that's our geshmak. If they'll pay a person a salary to be on vacation all year round, so the first day it's mamish geshmak, he sits back on the beach in this armchair, a deck chair, whatever, and he drinks his beverage dort and say, and the second day, by a week it's getting a little bit boring. After a month, he's mamish going crazy. Please, give me something to do. As a child, I started learning about lots of different cultures and learned various languages. I thought it couldn't be, it must be there's somewhere in the world that there's some people, some culture that they're living with a life. And I was waiting for the opportunity to leave America. When I was 12, I went to spend the summer holidays, summer vacation in Switzerland where my uncle was living. And Americans think that Europe has much more culture. The Americans are a bunch of cowboys, but the Europeans have lots of culture. But after a short time in Switzerland, I saw it's basically like America: eat, sleep, work, do affairs, nothing special. So I figured, mistoma, the Western cultures, the Gashmias was mashpia on them, so they're living a superficial life. So I figured probably the simpler cultures, the simpler countries, more simple countries, and then maybe that's where the emes is. So at age 15, I went on an exchange program. That means that students, talmidim from America will go to wherever, and from wherever will come here. So of all the choices, I picked Tunisia, which is in northern Africa between Morocco and Egypt, the Arab country. So you'll say maybe a shvach ha'avim, okay, what did I know? Thought, maybe the emes is by them. Side note, when I was, there was a dictator ruling when I was there, and wherever you'd go, they had his picture up in the classroom, the post office, wherever you'd go. And in the city square, there was a 10-story building, the 10-story picture. And the television, you could either watch a game of Pac-Man, or you could watch about all his meisim tovim, how he saved the world. So, came Stalin as and then one day there was a revolution, all the pictures down and the new guys up. So this whole COVID became bottled. So nicely, there were two main points that made me really think and to make my change in Tunisia. The first point was the Sinas Yisrael was mamish the Mailam Mederech HaTeva, was kimat supernatural. The Arabs sit around all day long, at least there, and they talk about what they're going to do to the Yidden and what they think the Yidden did. And if somebody steps on their foot, oh, you're a Yid. And it was mom strange. I once looked on my watch to see the average, how long does it take them to talk about Yidden? The whole time they're talking about Yidden. I got to 30 seconds. And I was just sit around the whole day long. Some of the Schwarzes are responsible for much more crime than their amount. And I didn't hear that anyone wants to build an Auschwitz to kill out the Schwarzes. What are these Yidden? What's so terrible about them? I didn't have any experience with them that they did anything so bad. So it aroused my curiosity. And who's from them that when I was there, when I would go on the street, they would throw stones at me and they would think that I was a Yid, say, Ya Yehudi, and 3 occasions they tried to kill me. When I stayed in 3 months in 10 host families, and each time they changed me somewhere else. And also the school, it took me about a month till they let me in, and then I was there for a few days, and they sent me to a different school. And I couldn't understand what's going on. So someone told me, because you're a Yid, so they don't want you. I'm like, but I'm not. So that was one Nikuda, the Sinus Yisrael, it didn't make any sense. I learned in university for 1 year, and I had a history teacher, and she said she can understand all of history, but she can't understand the Holocaust. It doesn't make sense to her. The other Nikuda was that one of the host families, I witnessed an immoral act. And even though America is not a particularly moral society, but it made me think, what's preventing me from being like this person? I have no set of values. What's keeping me from doing that? If a person has no set of values, he can stoop to the lowest of things. I felt a need to look for a set of values. And I knew that the Neutrim, they didn't have what to offer, and the Muslims were no better. So in the main street in Tunis, the capital, I passed every day a big shul. And one day I saw the door was open, and I went inside and they were davening there. Yidden, whoever was left over, was davening there. Stam Lefi Cheshvan was Rosh Hashanah. And I saw the great contrast between the jungle on the outside of the Arabs, the Chayes Rois, and people with Tzuras Odom on the inside. As I said before, there was a revolution there, and it was getting a bit dangerous. So the American embassy helped me to transfer, to continue my exchange program in Yugoslavia, in Serbia, which was then a communist country. And I tried as much as I was able to in a communist country to find out about Yiddishkeit. I went to the shul there every Shabbos in Belgrade. Weren't many people left over. So the only resources I could find were in the American embassy had a reading room. There they had a few books. I don't know who wrote them or where, but it was various things about Yiddishkeit. So one of the things I saw there was that it's possible to become a Yid. Right? Who says you can become a Yid? Maybe only a Yid is born a Yid, and whoever isn't. Oh, so I discovered that you can become a Yid. So I also want to become a Yid. But I saw there that you need 3 rabbis, 3 dayonim. And I knew that in Belgrade there's only one rabbi. So the Goyim told me in the north of the country, on the border of Hungary and Romania, there are lots of Yidden there, and there are lots of shulim there. So look there. So the Maisa, I went there and came out there only a few out to Yidden, places like Zenta, and people know the Ungarische places. In the Maisa there was no one there, so I saw it was more complicated than I had expected. So afterwards I went back to America I started university at age 16. I was there for 1 year. And the whole time pursuing Yiddishkeit, going to a shul there. In the summer, I traveled to Poland to see more of the Jewish history. And at the end of the summer, I had planned to go to some program in Weider University in Israel. And there I met in Warsaw Rav Yoskovich, Gerach Chosid. I stayed by him, even though he thought I was a Yid. I wasn't, but he didn't ask me. And he said, if you want to find out about the Yidden, the best place is to go to yeshiva. There you can find out about Yiddishkeit. So he said, why don't you go before your program in the university and learn yeshiva for a short kufa? So I went to Eretz Yisrael and somehow found a yeshiva called Mar Beitur in Bnei Brak for beginners, for Bali Tshuva. And I learned there until the program started in the university. Myself was very impressed by the Chochmas HaTorah. Now one shtickle Gemara with 7 different pshotim, and everything fits perfectly in the words. So you see it's Chochma Likis. So Goya Shalai, Im Tim Slimmer has even one shot, but it's more than one, it doesn't have. So I decided that I'll stay a year and put university on hold. which the Meister was not so easy with an Nisoyin. By the Goyim before the careers their whole life. And my mother was a bit perturbed also, so, leave university. I started when I at university when I was 16, so she was all proud, and then I'm going to leave university to go to Shiva. So when I was there, I heard a Bocher told me that he had learned 7 years in university and in medical school, and he had 1 more year to finish. I don't know what stage he was. But he wanted to go to yeshiva, and he said if he's not going to go to yeshiva now, he'll never go. So he left everything after 7 whole years, and so that convinced me I have to at least stay for a year and check out Yiddishkeit in yeshiva. So I wanted to make a gerus, and so I had a problem. I'm in a yeshiva in Bnei Brak, and I was a goy, so what do we do? What's different? And I figured that I couldn't really approach the Rosh Yeshiva and tell them that actually I'm a goy, I'm learning yeshiva for several months, but I'm actually a goy, could you help me out and make a gerus? So I'm sure what their reaction would be. So I wasn't sure to who to turn. So the mice of the opportunity came about in a few months' time. My parents decided that they're going to come to Israel and check out what's this yeshiva business, what's going on here, to see what's going on. So the Maisa, I started to get a little bit nervous, come and meet Rosh Yeshiva. And you feel them Tim Salimra, they won't laugh, but Goyish Shaponim, they'll see straight away on them. So it don't look too Yiddish. So I got very nervous. I told the Rosh Yeshiva, my parents are coming for a visit, but they're not my real parents, I'm adopted. So I thought everything's sorted out, good. But then I was asked the obvious question, so who are your real parents? And then I was stuck. So I said, I don't know. So Shiva says, oh, maybe it's kedai to make a gerus misofik. I said, yeah, sehr gut. That's what I was looking for. So Baruch Hashem, they made the gerus misofik, and they didn't even know themselves. The first time I went, Shtetzach Hager needs Mila B'Tfilas, the first time I had contact lenses in, so which is a chatzitza, so I had to go back the next day. And afterwards, one of the people was there, heard that it was a real thing many years later, and he said, maybe you should ask a shayla, maybe it's not good. I did it mitzad sofik, but not mitzad vadai. So later on, my roommate in yeshiva, Weider, was Rabbi Yashiv. So Rabbi Yashiv said that there's no such thing. That a suffix means either 100% yes or 100% no. There's no 50%, because the Meister, they asked me to do it again, and I did, but the Meister, Rabbi Yashiv, held that it wasn't necessary. A few years later, I felt a bit bad that I had sort of tricked the yeshiva, even though they didn't ask me if I would say yeah or not. So I went into Rav Michael Yehuda Lefkovich, one of the Gedolim that was in Bnei Brak, and I asked him, should I tell them or would I feel bad? So he said, you didn't do it, a guy did it. So. I learned there for 3 years, and then I was able to continue in Panovich for 4.5 years, where I heard Rav Shach. And then I learned 1 year in Mir. When I got married, my wife was also a Gyoris. She was in Sky with her mishpacha together as a child. We come from Milwaukee. Interesting story, when I at my chasna, I don't know, so I heard there was a Yeda Tzadik, Rabbi Yisrael Weintraub in Bnei Brak. So first he came to the chuppah in his Baruch HaChrite, and afterwards he came back for the dancing later on. So someone asked him, the Rav Kimat doesn't come to chasnas, and here the Rav came 2 times. So, my kuli hai. So he said, I see here Avram Avinu, how can I not go away? So, I didn't see, but I don't have the right eyes. So I feel a great schus to be a yid. It's a simcha every day, and I wish everyone else they should feel that also. So it's not a given. So I just want to be mislayim with it. It's lochem. Some people don't know because it's not neged to them. In Teva Dvarim, people don't know things which are not neged to them. In Birchas HaShachar, what does the ger say? Does he say Shlo Yasani Goy or not? So Maisa, the Eibishter did make me a goy, so how can I say that bracha? So the Maisa, there are 4 shittas. The Mishnah Berurah brings in the beginning, he says, brings a shita that the ger could say Shosani Gera. The Eibishter made him a Gera. In Uchnami a goy he can't say, because he was taki, yes, made a goy. And then he brings a Yesh Choyalkim, that it's not shaykh to say Hashem made him a ger. I chose to be a ger for my bechira, but it's not. I wasn't created as a ger. Okay? The Ber Hetiv brings Sheikh Nisani Tachas Kanfei Shechina. That's another nusach bracha. And then he brings afterwards the Yad Aron that says as far as I know, he's the only one who holds that the ger really could say Shosani Goy. He didn't make me a goy in such a oifen to stay a goy. Okay? So the Maisa, the 4 shittas. So what do you do with the Maisa? So I asked Rav Chaim Kanievsky, and he said that Sofik Brochas Lokil. It's not clear what to say, so better not to say anything at all. So I had a few times a problem that people asked me to be moitzi them with Birchas HaShachar. So I was in a bit of a pickle. Meaning that, let's say, for example, they stayed up all night long, so they don't have a suffix. It's not suffix that they need Shlo Yasani Goy. They need it b'Torah Svadich. They smad Rishenu or something was a suffix that. So I wasn't sure what to do. I asked Rav Nissen Koretz once, and he said that aside for Mitzada Tznius, if you don't have to be person to everyone. So he said that you could say. He said mitzad, what does it say by Soit, that Hashem was nimchik to man shalom, so shalom and tznius are the same Indian. So then I had a patent that I thought, technically I can't say it, but maybe if someone else needs to hear, I can be moitzi them. Din Arvus. So I asked Rav Elyashiv, and he said that if you can't say it, then you're not in the parsha, so there's no Din Arvus. Yes,